welcome to Day and Night Prime Debate. In order to make up for the shortage of doctors in rural areas, the union government is planning to increase the length of the MBBS course for doctors from 5.5 to 6.5 years. This would entail a 1-year rural posting compulsory for all MBBS students before they become doctors. The Union Health Ministry and the Medical Council of India are working on the modalities of the extended medical course.
The Medical Council of India is set to extend the duration of the MBBS course by a year. In a meeting between Health Minister Ghulam Nabi Azad and the Medical Council of India, it was proposed that 1-year rural posting be made compulsory for all MBBS students before they can become doctors. This proposal comes as India faces an acute shortage of human resources in health, the sting of which is being faced by the flagship NRHM, and the vulnerable population in rural, tribal and hilly areas is extremely undeserved. A study found that the urban density of doctors was about 4 times that in rural areas and that of nurses about 3 times higher. As per a Planning Commission study, the country is short of 6 lakh doctors, 10 lakh nurses and 2 lakh dental surgeons, leading to a dismal doctor-patient ratio. If the proposal of the MCI is cleared, India's 40,000 students will be utilized for a year in the National Rural Health Mission. Earlier also, the Health Ministry had given incentives to MBBS students if they worked in rural areas for a year. MBBS doctors who underwent rural service would sit for the PG exam with an added advantage. They would have 10 to 30 marks guaranteed. However, none of these incentives have paid dividends till now, with most doctors opting out of the rural areas. Given this, will this latest proposal be accepted by the doctors?
Will the extended MBBS course help get over the shortage of doctors in rural areas? To discuss this, we are joined in the studio by Dr. S.S. Sodhi from the Punjab chapter of the Indian Medical Association, Dr. A.S. Sekhon, Director Education, Gyan Sagar Medical College in Banur, and Dr. Raj Bahadur, Director Principal of the Chandigarh Medical College. Welcome to the discussion. Dr. Raj Bahadur, I'll start with you.
Sir.
What is your reaction to this proposal for an extended MBBS course with 1 year in the rural areas?
Sir, the country is dealing with this issue because we are aware that most of the population, 70% of the population, as we say, they are in the rural area and 30% in the urban area, and the doctors ratio is rather reverse, that most of the doctors they are in the urban area and the population where more is there and the doctors rural area is less. Country need to find out some methods.
So broadly you welcome the decision or the proposal?
No, the issue is very critical and we need to address this, and we have to take this on front, right? Whether, as the ministry has said, that we increase the postgraduate seats and we give some leverage to the candidates, those who are appearing for the post-graduation, or we make it as a compulsory, as 1-year course. I think some method must be adopted so that most of the population of the country, which is still not getting the benefit of the medical services, should get that.
But Dr. Raj Bahadur, by this proposal, are you not sending half-trained doctors to the rural areas? Are you treating the rural population as guinea pigs, no?
No, the issue, yes, this is a very important issue. Earlier it came that we should have a 3 years course for the doctors which are known as a rural MBBS, which has not been turned down. So it is a doctor now who is full-fledged, who has done his MBBS. He is going into the rural area. He is not a less qualified.
No, but he doesn't have much of an experience.
No,
the other thing in the rural areas where the problems are huge,
yes,
you actually need fully trained doctors with experience to be posted there.
No, agreed, but now as compared to the situation which was being earlier proposed, that we should send a doctor with a 3 years experience, at least we are sending a qualified doctor who has a full experience as compared to the one who was 3 years experience. That is certain. So certainly the problem can be addressed if we send the doctors, because you are aware that a country like America, they send compulsory doctors to the army. We have
but what stage is that, Dr. Raj Bahadur?
No, they have to pass through the armed forces and then they come to. So whether they are going, sir, the issue is, if the training for 5.5 years is adequate, as if I look into my training, we were capable enough to go to the rural area to serve the passes for for patient for the general diseases.
Okay, Dr. Sodhi, what is your take on this? Do you agree with Dr. Raj Bahadur?
No, sir.
And what is the view of the Indian Medical Association on this?
No, I do not think this is the correct decision. I would prefer to say that this is more of a knee-jerk reaction, because if the government feels tomorrow that they have more shortage of doctors, should we make it 7.5 years course and then 8.5 and then 9.5 years course? That is number one. Number two, I fully agree with you, sir, that if the doctors are not as trained, I mean, let us be very frank, how many of us or how many in the ministry would like to be treated by a doctor who is 5.5 years out of the MBBS and is not allowed by MCI to even prescribe? The third issue is that when they go to the villages, how are they going to help when actually, now officially, they are not supposed to prescribe a drug because they don't have a degree? So in what way will they help? Will they be more of an assistant to a doctor working there? So are we going to use them as basically health workers of a higher qualification?
But Dr. Sodhi, as Dr. Raj Bahadur puts it, at least a beginning is being made with this proposal, no?
No, so the point is, why doesn't the government analyze as to what is the reason why people are not going to the rural areas? I mean, if you give them adequate perks, give them adequate facilities. As a doctor, what I feel is, what a doctor requires is two things. One, a good salary and good facilities for his family, and two, job satisfaction. That is for any professional. If he is happy on both these fronts, in the cities there is a lot of competition. I am in the private practice, I can tell you there is a lot of competition in the cities. If we give them good facilities for their families, for their salaries, and good job opportunities and good working conditions in the periphery, why should somebody not stay there?
As the situation is, the flagship program, the National Rural Health Mission, is not succeeding. And with this proposal, you will get about 40,000 additional doctors every year into the mission.
But sir, would they serve the purpose? Are we getting enough trained doctors? And secondly, why put the burden? The issue is that the government has to solve this problem. It is the government's responsibility. The government is shirking from its responsibility and putting the burden on the students. That okay, because they cannot argue and they have to take a degree, so we make it 6.5 years. Why? Why not make the facility adequate? When our doctors from Chandigarh and Mohali go to periphery and operate there, when they go to periphery and have peripheral OPDs there, why can't they stay there if they are given good facilities?
Okay, Dr. Sekhon, what is the reaction of the private medical colleges to this proposal?
No, it is not a question of private medical college or a government medical college. This is the question of a medical education system and the health delivery system in the country. 5.5 years is a long period for any graduate to be able to succeed and successful and stand on his 2 feet. And even this 5.5 years, after this, the doctor is not sufficient to get a job. So make it to 6.5 years, put more burden on as a student? No, I would certainly not do it. And as far as the health delivery system is concerned, you should not forget that a doctor in the rural area is not merely a doctor, he's a team leader. He has to do so many other things. He has to run national programs, he has to organize, he has to administer, he has to do the financial control, and there are so many things. How can you expect that a medical student extended 2 years of internship will do everything for that? It is not possible, it is not feasible.
But Dr. Sekhon, will it affect the intake in the medical colleges? What is your take on that?
As it is, the intake is already going down. The dental colleges are feeling the pinch. The seats are remaining vacant, and the time is not far enough when the medical seats will not be filled.
Some apprehensions were expressed that the NRI seats, there will be very few takers for NRI seats if you extend the course. Would that be right?
That is perfectly correct. That is perfectly correct, and no NRI is going to come. See, we have to streamline our system of health delivery system rather than tinkering with the system of education.
Okay, Dr. Raj Bahadur, now a couple of points have arisen.
Yeah,
one is that the course is already too long,
yes,
and perhaps there is some people even feel that there is need to shorten it by about 6 months.
So the issue is, the national problem is that we should address the problem of the rural area. This is one issue. As Dr. Sodhi has said and Dr. Sekhon has said, that who should go there and what facility should be provided. I am for that the facility for a doctor in the rural area has to be excellent, only then he will be attracted to that. I am aware that if the younger person goes, probably his family is still not that level where the education is also a issue. As the age advances for a person, this issue comes in picture that his children, they require education equal to the one his counterparts in the cities they are getting.
So I think what you are also saying is that why not give better facilities in the rural areas rather than extend the course to 6.5 years, no?
Sir, since the government could not infuse this element of giving an opportunity to the students to go for the post-graduation, which is a rather a requirement of every student. Every student now wish that he should have a postgraduate course, right, postgraduate admission. And this element, this issue has been given to them that if you do 3 years, you will get 30 marks. That could also not provide the opportunity for the students to go to the rural area, right? Then what is the...
Yeah, but Dr. Rajbhadan, there is another feeling that you already are short by about 6 lakh doctors in the country.
Sir.
So this could actually drive away the potential medical students away from the field of medicine.
As Dr. Sekhon has said, that this profession, because of its length, because of the perks which the doctors they are getting, is not now the topmost profession for, like, the students they are going for the other branches. Computer is one more attractive. Now, we have seen in the admission, he has very rightly said, the admission to the BDS and the number of the BDS students coming and the jobs which we are creating for them is...
But then if you make the course longer, then fewer students will come, no?
No, the issue is that what are the methods available to us? It is very easy to say that, okay, we create a facilities, we create everything, that cannot be created in a day.
That's a valid point. What are the methods available to us? We have a couple of callers. Let's hear what one of the callers has to say. Yes, please. Who is it?
हाँ जी शिविंदर बोल रहा हूँ जी मैं।
हाँ जी दसो।
हाँ जी सत श्री अकाल जी।
सत श्री अकाल।
हाँ जी सर मैं एक गल कहना चाहना जी ਜਿਹੜੀ ਰੂਲਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਪਿੰਡੂ ਇਲਾਕੇ ਵਿੱਚ 1 ਸਾਲ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਵਾਕਈ ਸਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਜੀ।
ਜੀ।
ਇਹਦਾ ਕਾਰਨ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦਾ ਜੀ ਉਹ ਸ਼ਹਿਰਾਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਇੰਪਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ। ਪਿੰਡ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਨਾ ਹੁਣ ਜਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੈਂਸਰ ਬੈਲਟ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਬਠਿੰਡਾ ਸਾਈਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ।
ਜੀ ਜੀ।
ਅੱਜ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਲੱਗੀ ਸੀ ਵੀ NRI ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ